Found out wife did things in her past that are off limits for me, can't help but be hurt. Found out recently through my wife's really chatty best friend a thing or two about my wife's past. Initially when we were dating she told me certain things were things she had never done before and didn't want to try. Turns out she did them with her ex-boyfriend. This is not something that I am asking for 20 years later after finding out. I wanted to do more with her early on in our relationship. I talked to her about it, she told me she did them back then and enjoyed it. But doesn't want to do them with me, anal BDSM threesome. And when I asked she didn't really give me any reasoning. She just said she didn't want to. Now to be clear, it's not so much the particular acts that I really care about. It's more so the fact another guy got to see a side of her that I never did. And he was just a boyfriend, while I signed away my life to her. I understand and accept that if a woman does a certain thing in the past she doesn't have to do it with every subsequent partner. But that being said, when I asked her if she would try these things when we were dating she told me no, and she never did them before. Again, she doesn't have to disclose her history, but she didn't choose not to answer, instead she lied to me about it. Had she said, yes, I like doing XYZ with person X, but I don't want to do them with you, I would have been able to decide for myself if this is the person I want to be with. That's why this is a big deal for me. Something that influenced my decision to be with this woman turned out to be a deliberate lie. That makes me doubt the foundations of your relationship. Did she do that on purpose to keep me hooked? What else has she been lying or pretending about in order to keep me around? We have been married for 20 years and we have 2 children together. This isn't something that I am going to divorce her over. But the lack sensitivity and explanation from her part is causing tension in our marriage. To her it's no big deal, to me it makes me feel very emasculated and hurt. I have conveyed this to her but she doesn't really bother. I understand people are going to have strong opinions, but please read the full post before commenting. Update. First of all, thank you to everyone that commented on the previous post. When I posted this thread, I already kind of knew what the answer was in my head. I posted on here so maybe, just maybe, I could find a perspective that made sense to me that wasn't as crushing as the one I thought in my head. And well, the one that I think it is, she never viewed me as the guy that gave her the tingles, more so a stable guy she could see herself having a future with. Her ex probably turned her on in a way that I couldn't, but because he didn't make for a good long-term partner, had a shitty job, he wasn't someone she could marry. That being said, I can't blame her for her natural attraction. To me, intimacy, especially rough passionate time, isn't actually about the sensation. It's more so about acceptance and making me feel like a desirable partner. That is why I was okay marrying her under the assumption that, well, she was attracted or lusted after a guy more than me. Her ex wasn't a guy in her youth, it was the guy right before me. For those reasons, I view it as something much more. If I could know from a woman for sure that she cared for me and was attracted to me more than any other guy, then I'd take a girl that only would do missionary for the rest of her life. As a man, I don't want the reason a woman is with me is because I have a good career, or those other factors. I don't want her to marry me because I am a nice guy. Had I known in the past about my wife's history and her refusal to do X, Y, and Z with me, I wouldn't have married her. At this point in my life, even if through some magical conversation I started having threesomes every night, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be out of her desire to do things but me pressuring her. I have tried talking to my wife, she doesn't want to have this conversation anymore. So my plan as of now is to just wait a while, let my sadness go away. If it doesn't, then I'll move forward with a separation. I hope for those of you that are reading this, it's not about a particular act or anything like that. It's about her attraction and feelings toward me. Of all my previous girlfriends, I cared and was the most attracted to my wife. Now, I see that her feelings towards me aren't the same. The love she has towards me is through familiarity. I was her business partner in the scheme of things. To have a family, a nice house. If we do go through a divorce, understand that it's not my attempt to hurt her or get even with her. It's because staying in this marriage is causing me a lot of pain. Since I found out about this, it has really gotten me. I am trying not to sit around and feel bad for myself. I am coming to you guys to share this with. Even those of you that have been cruel with your responses, I still enjoy reading it for the sake of having someone to talk to this about. Please read the entire post before you comment. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1. The fact that she isn't bothered that you're hurt would be more of a problem to me than the fact that she lied about her sexual past. Redditor follow up. Not just that it's so disrespectful to just stop talking about it when he's still clearly distraught and uncomfortable with the situation. It's a clear I don't care how you feel, only my feelings matter and this is a negative. Redditor 2. I don't want to be that guy, but this seems like a textbook example of what some people call alpha FCKS, beta bucks. Moving past the alpha and beta cliché, the basic premise is that a woman is more sexually attracted to and open with certain types of men that would make for bad long-term partners. So she was hot for this guy, which made the idea of these things sexy to her. Meanwhile, you're a great guy and a good husband and a good father, but she's not attracted to you the same way. Solution? Either make peace with that, or start drawing up some divorce papers. I wouldn't blame for you either one honestly. This really isn't something you can fix by talking about it. You've already talked about it. She liked getting tied up and taking it in the button with her ex, but has no interest in doing it with you. No amount of talking will change that. Op answer, this is kind of what's running through my head. Yeah, I am starting to get the picture. The disrespect she is giving me right now is really getting at me. When I made the post I said divorce was off the table, but her position towards me is really changing that perspective. Both of my children are out of the house now and separation the very least is on my mind. Redditor 3, really, I feel like the core issue here isn't whether she wants it up the BTT or not, rather it's the lie, the poor communication, and the lack of empathy. For me, the red flags are right here. Initially when we were dating she told me certain things were things she had never done before and didn't want to try. Turns out she did them with her ex-boyfriend. I wanted to do more with her early on in our relationship. She told me she did them back then and enjoyed it. She didn't really give me any reasoning. To her it's no big deal, to me it makes me feel very emasculated and hurt. I have conveyed this to her but she doesn't really bother. That's what gets me, lie for 20 years, get found out, and it's no big deal? Oof. I'm not sure where you go from here, but I think you're justified in seeing this as a big deal. Possibly couples counseling? There needs to be some major improvements in communication, and probably some work to rebuild trust. I do think it's important and you seem to be doing this, so good to separate the S-time acts from the trust and communication. She has no obligation to have a threesome with you just because she had a threesome in the past. Indeed, she might have some very good reasons not to. What if hypothetically, she had a threesome with her ex, enjoyed it hugely, but it led directly to the breakup of her relationship? It would be quite understandable for her to swear of threesomes in the future, despite having enjoyed it. Then again, maybe she's got a terrible reason for it too. Without good communication, how can you know? But the issue is the communication now, not what she did or didn't do 20 years ago. Op answer, I too think a threesome in a married couple is only asking for trouble. But the other elements, I don't think are that crazy. But at this point, it doesn't matter because it's not about the acts in itself. Even if she did them now it wouldn't be the same she wanted to do it with the other guy. Don't see how couples counseling can really fix this. We have a decent relationship otherwise, but unlike the other problems we face this one is something that I can't change. Either I carry the burden of this, or divorce her and get thrown out of the comfort of my marriage. Update found out wife 44F did things in her past that are off limits for me 46 meters. Can't help but be hurt. Hey guys, thanks for the support and advice you gave me in the first thread I posted. Summary, prior to when wife and I got together she was dating an ex where she went out of her way to satisfy every fantasy he had threesomes al BDSM. When we started dating I wanted to do more with her but she said she never did those things before and had no intention of wanting to do them again. I accepted it and we went on to get married. I find out from a friend about her adventures with her ex. I become crushed, that she would lie to me. I am not upset about not getting the axe but upset that she wanted to do everything to satisfy him but never viewed me in a lustful manner. I contemplate my options, one of them being divorce. Update. My kids were spending Christmas with us so we didn't talk much about our issues. I wanted our family to be happy and stable during the holidays, however after Christmas they went back to their apartment so we ended up having time to talk. I ended up talking to my wife more about the matter, however she kept on rejecting my requests, saying that it happened a while back and she isn't going to dredge up the past. I ended up distancing myself from her, spent more time with coworkers. I also stopped initiating sex, and it got to the point where we went 6 days without it. That night she ends up getting angry that I haven't initiated anything. Finally we ended up talking. I told her how I felt about the whole matter, how I felt rejected because she went out of her way to fulfill this guy's fantasies and then didn't do the same with me. She ends up responding saying that I don't appreciate all the things she does for me, cooking, raising our kids, taking care of me. I told her that I do appreciate all the things she does and she is a great mom, however that those things don't make me feel desired in a sexual matter. She ends up getting angry saying that if I wanted a girl who'd have threesomes then I shouldn't have married her in the first place. I told her that it's not about the acts themselves, it's the fact she wanted to do it for the other guy, not for me, that I feel that she likes the other guy more than me. She told me that I am being stupid and if I really want to we can do but she isn't going to bring another girl into our bedroom. I told her that I have no desire for it. Then she gets mad saying, what do I want then? I told her that I wanted to know why she wanted to do things for him but not for me. She ended up pausing for a bit and then responds, because I didn't see a future with him, and I did with you. I ended up telling her okay and then I went to bed. I didn't know what I really wanted to hear. I was hoping she could say something that would stop the way I felt. I thought about the whole divorce thing and I gave up on that idea. If I couldn't manage to be that kind of guy with my wife, then I'd probably fail with another woman as well. And my wife in other respects has been good to me, so it's just something I need to get over. I am not that bad boy type, and probably won't ever be. I have a loyal, loving family and a nice upper middle class lifestyle, so I need to stop focusing on what I am not. I did some introspection and it's not something that my wife did that I am mad at. I'm mad at a fault of my own. I stopped talking about the whole thing with my wife and now she became the one to bring it up. I told her that I apologize for dredging up our marriage and sorry for attacking her. I started getting away from the house a bit just as my way to cope with my feelings. Now, my wife became the one to bring this up constantly, asking me if I am mad at her. We are intimate again, and now she is telling me if I want to do more things I tell her no, it's fine. She has been going out of her way now to please me. She has asked me if I wanted to do a with her. I told her that it's alright. She ends up asking me if I am still mad at her. I told her no, and I told her that I don't want to do those things with her. She starts asking me why, saying I made such a big deal out of it. I told her that I am sorry for bringing it up, but at this point her actions will be out of guilt, resentment, not out of lust. She tells me she didn't do them with her ex out of lust. I told her it doesn't matter why she did them, that I want to move on. Now she starts to become extremely clingy towards me. I tell her that we are fine, but if she wants we can go to marriage counseling, and she ends up refusing. I don't really know what to do at this point. My sadness has kind of went away a bit. It still lingers, but I guess it's because I kind of have been lying to myself for all these years about what kind of guy I am. I have been doing my best to focus on the positives in my life, and being around my children has definitely helped. I don't really know what to do with the relationship between me and my wife. I don't want to do those things with her. Even if she legitimately wanted to do them, I'd always feel that it is out of guilt, resentment, not legitimate desire. She has been texting me at work and I know she has gone through my phone. I really want things to just go back to normal before I knew. I don't want to go to marriage counseling. I am posting here for advice, so if you have any for me, please do share. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, goot tripping is no way to get someone to lust after you. Wah wah, touch my whiner. Gross. Your wife did some things she didn't enjoy that had nothing to do with you. Now you want her to do it again, but she already knows she hates it. Get over it, it's not about you. Do apologize for being such a whiny, unappreciative lover. Redditor 2, imagine that you once did something. You then really regretted doing it and decided to never do it again. Your wife then got mad, saying you did it once before, why won't you do it with me? You are now in your wife's shoes. I think counseling is a really good idea. If she will not go with you, please seek counseling on your own. Op answer, okay, just to make things clear, The relationship with her ex went on for like a year and a half. She actually enjoyed doing those things with him, she told me. I don't think you read my post in its entirety. I am not upset because she wouldn't do those things with me. I am upset that she doesn't want to do those things with me. Redditor 3, so all that for what? I feel bad for your wife.